Good morning, everyone. Um, I'd like to discuss a little bit about what's happening in Iran right now. Um, the the truth that mainstream media is not saying is that basically we are losing the war in Iran. I mean, the bases in Kuwait have been struck. The bases in Qatar has been struck. The bases in Bahrain has been struck. And the president is saying that he was going to have a land invasion, and then he postponed that land invasion, saying that there was a solution that he's been discussing with the Saudis, which turns out not to be true. The other thing I'd like to say is that we have to face the fact that there's sometimes we can't keep our heads down about what's happening in the Middle East. This war was started because Israel wanted this war to start. Unfortunately, the lives of Americans are the ones that are being taken by this war. And those bases in the GCC, in which they were attacked by um, Iranian drones. Iran has wanted to have a peace treaty with the U.S. for a long time. Every time that there was an occasion where we were almost reaching a consensus uh, to deal with the nuclear threat, which Iran is not. As I said before, the IAEA had been investigating um, the areas where they had uranium, and they said they hadn't enriched uranium enough to create a nuclear bomb. I think it was about 60% enrichment, and it was used for domestic use, for power. Even though that's the case, in June of last year, when there was a peace um, treaty that was about to be signed, Israel blew up not only the location of the negotiations, they blew up the negotiators. And then in Qatar, when they were about to reach an agreement again, they blew up the Qatar where they were having the negotiations, even though the U.S. was paying. The Qatarians were paying the U.S. I think $1 billion a year to attack them from any invasion. And there's a military complex in Qatar that's supposed to protect the Qatarians from any invasion from anyone. And the U.S. didn't do anything about uh, countering those missiles that were sent into Qatar. So I would think Qatar would have to be very apprehensive about thinking that the U.S. can protect them. In the most recent development, um, when Qatar, um, I should say, when the U.S. struck Iran, um, my mistake. When the U.S. attacked Iran, that was by the um, incitement by uh, Israel. Israel does not, it should be easy to conclude that Israel does not want any peace in the Middle East until they get what they call the greater Israel, which includes Lebanon, which includes Jordan, which includes Egypt, which includes Saudi Arabia, which includes Iran and parts of Iraq. So there's no way they're going to settle for anything less than the greater Israel. And if you try to have a two-state solution, in the Middle East, Israel is not going to allow it. Israel wants to use and are using American soldiers to reach their political ends. This is why I'm saying that enough is enough, and it's time for people to stop keeping their head down and not facing the elephant in the room, which is the fact that Israel is not going to settle for anything less than destruction of these surrounding countries so that they could be the hegemony of the Middle East. Unfortunately, they have, like a virus, taken over the U.S. foreign policies, and we're doing whatever they want, even though it's draining the lifebloods of our own soldiers. This is despicable. It's time that people start calling their representatives and start telling them enough is enough. Stop this war. It has no benefits to us. Actually, it's counter to us because of the residual effects and the, as they call, collateral damage of the oil prices going up, food prices going up that need to be transported to different places, fertilizers that come out the Middle East. They're not able to get those, so food prices are going to be doubly affected by it. This is a war of benefit to Israel only, not to the American people. We do not have a dog in this fight. It's time that Americans recognize this and decide to decouple from Israel and not be influenced by their lobbies, taking money to do things that are not beneficial to America. With this new plan that the president has to federalize the voter rolls, is simply to make sure that if people don't vote the way he wants, he can just purge the voting rolls. This is not a good situation for Americans, and they need to speak up and do something. Look into it and talk to your representatives. And remember, enough is enough. And may God bless you.